Well, look at that. It is post-recording me playing a game where things are different from the last episode because I realized I had some corrupt footage. I had some pretty corrupt footage and I could not salvage any of it. So I played the game and the game recorded fine, perfectly fine. And then I realized after I had recorded, Microsoft, during an update, decided to reset my microphone settings. And it did not record my mic because it was trying to use like my webcam mic, not my normal mic. And it doesn't even like record webcam microphone for some reason. So it wasn't even like bad audio, it was just no audio. And so I'm playing through it again and talking over it. And here's the secret exit. The secret exit is pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. I mean, not anything to say about it. It's a key. It goes in the hole. It puts you up at the treasure maze, which I went up there because I'm like, oh shoot, where does it take me? Treasure maze. During this part, when I was playing normally, I was like, oh hey, Mario RPG music. I kind of want to play Mario RPG again. And I'm not going to lie, after I was done recording, I went and was like, hey, how can I make Mario RPG different? I'm like, hey, is there a randomizer? There is, and it makes the game very, very difficult, very hard. I'm not sure if I like the randomizer, to be honest. It like makes the entire game open world, and you can go places, but it's just like, it's kind of weird. Not sure if I like it. Anyway, back in this level. This is a fairly straightforward water level. I will say the secret exit is by far a lot shorter than the normal exit. So while getting the normal exit here, I did opt not to go in that pipe because that pipe is actually a fairly big shortcut. And so I was like, you know what? I want to show the whole level off so everyone can see, because in my initial run, this is the way I went, and then I started checking every single pipe for a secret exit. And of course, I found it like fairly quick, and then it was like, oh, this is super easy. But yeah, I went this way. I did do something slightly differently in this run that I didn't do in the normal run, which when it gets to that point, I can like really talk about it and be like, okay, here's where I did something differently. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward, pretty lax like level. You can see here, it's like, oh, there's where the fishy fish are. And I just swim and go. I just go and swim. Swimming levels are kind of a bane of my existence. They're just not great. Right there, I was like, oh, I need to go this way. Then I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's not where the normal level go. And here, I'm like, blooper, go away. Because the bloopers are very weird in this game. Well, Super Mario World in general. Anyway, here I was like, you know what? I remember seeing those when I was playing through it the first time. So I broke those and swam under the level because I'm like, why is this here? And then I turn around because that is the end of the level right there. I'm like, oh, there's no way to get by. And so if you go the other way, you just hit a wall. And you can actually swim under the level if you really wanted to do that. But I didn't. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go this way. I fight with a blooper here. It goes very horribly wrong. And then I kind of just fry some Rip Van fish. Because why not? They are there. They are Rip Van fishy. And now I sit here and I harass Charlie, who would have woken up all of the fish. And that's the level. That is the entirety of the level. Not really. I mean, there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. That is it. That leads over here to Pipe City 4. This level is interesting. It is not a water level. It is rising, falling, like pipe level. It gave me some weird, like, issues. And it wasn't even just on this playthrough. It was when I first initially went through here as well. Because there's some, like, kind of blind jumps in it. Like, not terribly blind, but semi-blind. And then the rising and falling pipes have their own kind of issues to them. And here, when I first got here, I wasn't big. So I went down here. I'm like, what is actually down here besides the Sarcoid? I was curious. And explored. And I realized there was nothing. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So we just continue. We continue on. We try and fry that plant, realize it's not gonna work, and I'm trying to think of where the oddities are that gave me trouble. Like right here, this didn't give me trouble at all. I was just trying to dodge like a fireball and just jumping, failing miserably at doing that because I'm just not that good. I'm just not that good. But we go and do things, more kind of blindish jumps around. These dudes being dudes, that guy throwing a shell, and here it is. This part right here, because the pipes like go up together and they're just out of sync or in sync. I don't know. They're just kind of weirdly together. So I barely made that jump back and then barely made the jump up. And that's not the only place that gave me a little bit of trouble. Like that guy is not too bad. Is it this one? No, I think it's this pipe here. Trying to get that guy. So that guy is really just in the way, and you'll notice that it's like he's in the way. Was it? No, maybe it wasn't that one. It was a pipe and a Venus fire trap. I do know that. That gave me issues. And yeah, where is it? It was definitely a pipe and a Venus fire trap that gave me some issues. Maybe it was that one, and I'm thinking it was like worse than it actually was. I just remember like kind of stuttering at it a little bit and like trying to jump. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the first time. And then I get to the castle and I'm pressing L and R and nothing's working. And I'm like, shoot, what am I going to do? I paused the recording. That was a pretty good cut. I paused the recording and actually came back in because I'd rebound my bumpers. Because initially I had L and R on the Z axis and I needed them to be on triggers for it to actually work right, like actual buttons. Also here, I was just showing off, I got 99 lives. This is how I did it. I just sat on this ladder and fast forwarded while jumping on dry bones. It is not fast, but it is efficient. It is a good life arm. It's very efficient. It's just not very fast. But yeah. So my controller, it's a Super Nintendo controller. The new one I have. It's an 8-bit SN30 Pro, something like that. I think that's what it is. Either way, it has joysticks on it and it has triggers. Honestly, it's one of those things that's like I probably could have done without it, but it was the only one I could find available online for like a decent price. And so because it's wired, it was actually like a lot cheaper than the wireless ones. Even the normal, like just classic Super Nintendo type of one. But it mimics a Xbox like One controller or something like that, or a 360 controller, and the Z-axis for the triggers, what would be the triggers on the Xbox controller, just don't work for entering castles when you hit them together, because it's Z up and Z down, and when you push them both together, it cancels each other out. So it's like you're not pressing anything, which I don't know if I had that issue when I actually used an Xbox One controller, but I also had the buttons mapped to the proper buttons. The reason I didn't on this one is the triggers are actually more comfortable for like proper LR than the LR buttons. Anyway, here, I had my fireball out first because I was thinking this was like Roy or Morton, but it's not. It was Lemmy, and it was just a bad choice on my end. But that is where we are. That is where we're going to end it. We go to the pipe. I don't actually enter the pipe. The reason I don't enter the pipe is because it would spoil more of the map.